Hello everyone. This is gonna be a 2008 clean show high bulang victory. And I made some notes because I already started drinking this thing. And the Mr. Mopar sent me a sampler of cool stuff because I said I have no idea about Sheng Puar. And but this is aged Sheng, right? It's not like just young Sheng. It's aged. 2008, 2003, 2006, 2010. So he sent me a sampler of 5 different ones. Mr. Mopar has a Discord server, and the link is going to be in the description. You just click it and then accept the invitation, and you can get in touch there with people. They swap, they order stuff together. Mr. Mopar has a good selection of things that you can have for uh, 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 a cheaper price, but it's really good stuff. Curated, obviously, and so also everyone there is a Sheng head. So if you're into this, definitely go and check it. Um, so I boiled this water like maybe a minute ago, 1 minute or 45 seconds, and I'm not using um, straight up boiling water to it because in the beginning I did it and I could feel the astringency was gonna be overwhelming compared to what I can taste, and that's not to say that that level of astringency is not pleasurable for some people, and it is something that I look forward to experience sometimes. But I'm trying to like get a better sense of the profile, the the taste profile. I see that this one is less twiggy than any other of the other ones that I've tried. So this is number 4 out of 5, and I see some buds in there. I'll take a picture and show you. The liquor is very clear, light amber, and I do think that amongst the other ones, this one had a lot more of smoky flavor. I mean, smoky smell, not in the flavor at all. It does somewhat smell, the leaves wet smell like young shenpuar, but it doesn't taste like that. And it's probably opening up, different fragrances and flavor profiles right now. It does have a it does have a young sheng still present there, like 20-30%. I would say that the profile is a young sheng to me, but I am not an expert on this. I'm just exploring this. So you need to keep in mind that I'm just a complete ignorant in the topic of um, sheng puars, and this is educational for me, right? Someone was like, "You should try this, and you will know this is what it's all about." There are some. There's like that kind of like metal thing that I sense on sheng puar. There is none of that vegetable soup like flavors that some of green teas have. So that's out of the question. It does definitely have a that quality of like leather and maybe old furniture in the beginning of the brews, like the first brew, maybe the rinse, but not really at this level of third or fourth brew. I think that if I was using boiling water, I would be definitely being too aggressive. I'm also using more than 8 grams in 150 ml guy one, maybe 120. Um, but I'm pouring on the side, not on the leaves. And if I'm pouring on the leaves, it's kind of like easy peasy. I'm not just making them tumble around in there. So if I was going to pick one of the four that I have drunk, there was one that I liked quite a bit earlier. I think it was the third, but this one also would be one. But that said, I think I do still need way more training, in terms of drinking more of this stuff to appreciate what is so appealing to people that only drink Sheng, like only drink Sheng. It's definitely clean. So when you drink Sheng, in my opinion, ignorant opinion, drink it and it's like it feels like clean. Like I don't know how to explain this. It was astringent to a certain extent. It's more like medicine like. It does, for some reason, apparently have a higher ratio of caffeine based on how I feel than things like L-theanines, you know. And I've said before, maybe because of age and oxidation, um, it feels like thirst quenching. So, like I do, I almost don't ever drink water by itself. I drink tea, and I can probably like relate to people be like, I'm thirsty, I rather drink Shank, right? Um, so it would be a good drink. It reminds me kind of like drinking mate, like so drinking mate like this in a gourd, and it's when you don't put sugar in it or anything, it's kind of bitter, but it's good, it's so I'm gonna leave it right here. So it is a thing, that bitterness, it's good for you, so I'm not complaining a lot about at all about it, like that is a negative thing of it. But in that sense, there is some complexity in the simplicity of Sheng, and if you compare it to, as I said before, a more flamboyant tea like a dog shit or a Milan or Xilangshan or Jin or all those oolongs, or even if you go into like golden bud type of red tea like Hongshas that are like super flavorful. I don't I don't know if it's the same trip. This is definitely a thing of more woody kind of like nature, you know, instead of like the hand of the man, doing so much. It's kind of like what time did to it, and there wasn't a lot of interaction with the tea, with all this beating around and rolling and fixing and fermenting and processing, right? But it's quite pleasurable to drink it. I do think that in my mind, in my drinking kind of like compartmentalizing that I have, this may be a little bit too cold for it. In that little compartmentalizing that I have. So we'll see how this sounds when it starts cracking bubbles. That's it. I do think that in my mind I compartmentalize Fushuang, like that heicha, the younger heicha that has that medicinal kind of straw hay barky, flavor. This one is also barky, not like a doggy, but barky like the trees. Not like my dog. He doesn't bark actually. And see what I wrote down. And the rinse was with a boil and smoky, tastes like leather, woody, not smoky, a bit of honey aftertaste. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I did feel like a little honey aftertaste and kind of like dried apricot, you know, aftertaste. Not when you're eating the dry apricot, but then like after, you stringer on the first steep, for sure. And the second steep got deeper, more astringent, and yeah, that's when I got those dry apricot tones. And as I mentioned, yeah, the wet leaves smell young, but the tea is not. So I just made some notes while I wasn't recording because sometimes it's just too much time, and this might maybe a little bit more time that you will want to be looking at my mug and listening to myself. But there is definitely a taste, a place for shank like this in my arsenal here, and today calls for it. Like a lazy Sunday morning where it's okay, um, and have the time and just enjoy it and be like, this is what I'm trying to learn here. But it's the learning process also what's calling me for it. The other days of the week, I drink uh, shou in a thermos that I leave overnight, and it's just dank. That stuff is like darker than any of my coworkers' coffee, man. So I go corrupt on it. But in the weekend, this would be the thing I think for the foreseeable future. I think I'm gonna get a couple of cakes, and have them around. But I'm also interesting interested in the newer trend of drinking young Shangpuar instead of the aged Shangpuar. The aged Shangpuar is also a bit more complicated because a lot happens between when they made it and when you got it, right? So where was it storage and how was it storage? And I believe there's a big difference between dry to wet storage, Hong Kong or Taiwan storage or whatever they call it. Um, but Sheng is kind of like less geared towards putting it away and more to drink it in the moment. So it's kind of like a green tea now, right? Don't kill me for saying that, but it is. And I would say honestly, between the green teas that I've drunk, maybe I have not had the best quality teas in terms of green teas. I've had a couple of Shangs, young Shangs, and I liked that flavor profile way more than I liked the cloud mist and longjing and you know Malfangs and stuff like that I drank as green tea, right? But again, it might have been the wrong tea, and I might have brewed it like great, not great, and that's the same thing with this. This is my first time brewing, so I can't really like blame or be like, I don't like it because I don't know how to do it. So I'm learning, and I definitely like this one. This one has a very friendly flavor profile, and I like the one before. I think it was a Jiwoo. The other thing that I noticed is that I am basically going like full mouth, with the sips. Like I don't take small sips out of the shanks. Yeah, a couple of them, but then it's just like gulps, and I don't know. I like what it does, you know. So that's it for it. I recommend again that you go there. Remember there are other gear um, in the affiliate links in the description. And I don't know if I have this shirt in the description, but usually I have some shirts in the description too. Have a good one and subscribe.